A lovely evening in California for a great matchup at Championship Soccer Stadium. Orange County is looking for their first league win of the season. Meanwhile, Colorado Springs is looking to stack results in the early season bustle. Welcome one and all to the broadcast on ESPN Plus. My name is Mark Schoenster. I'm joined by Eric Dobransky on the call. It's always fun when these two teams clash together. And so we've got another good one in the mix for tonight. Let's take a look at tonight's player to watch, presented by Layuna. It's Mahamadou War.
Has become a steadying presence at right back for this Orange County side. Such a unique blend of attacking desire with defensive discipline. You accompany that with his energy and game awareness. He is a player that will contribute greatly to the progress of this side and their ambitions this season.
He's a guy that they can plug in a lot of different spots. Right now, the role is right back. On the other side of things, a lot of nice adds this season for Colorado Springs. This is one of them.
An elite contributor on both sides of the field, can impact as a ball winner and be that deep-lying playmaker, but also so cunning in the way he climbs the field and finishes plays. Look for him to set the tempo and the temperature of this match early and often.
A guy who can pull the rabbit out of the hat, as Alan McCann described it. You're going to need everybody at this portion of the season. It's all hands on deck. So each guy on your roster needs to be able to contribute. Orange County and Switchbacks FC are ready to go. Are you? Kickoff is coming up next on ESPN Plus.
Every morning I draw a line. I've painted thousands of them. The lines are simple, but what happens within them is magical. Some lines divide, but not this one. It's the common thread for our shared love for the game. Soccer, football, call it what you want. This line, this team, it brings each of us to a common ground, the line that connects us. We, OCSC.
At the Pickup Family Neurosciences Institute, we function as a unit. Neurosurgery and neurology, physical medicine and rehab, physical therapy. It's patient-focused, patient-centered care. The future of the neurosciences at Hoag is filled with promise. We are at the cusp of incredible advancements and innovations that are truly going to transform medical care and its delivery. Patients don't just get a doctor when they come to Hoag, they get Team Hoag.
Kids grow up fast. You know when I first started noticing it? When I stopped getting hugs. With Command IQ, I found a way to get the hugs back. Watch.
Dad, the Wi-Fi is down.
Oh, let me see if I can fix it.
It's back. Thanks, Dad. You're the best.
With Command IQ, you can bring the hugs back.
This is incredible technology. We can actually solve drunk driving.
We are here to send a very strong message. Drunk driving must stop.
We are educators, supporters, listeners, and most of all, we are relentless, because one life lost is one too many. Together, we can end impaired driving for good. Join the movement. Drive change. Save lives.
We're back here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Get this one rolling between Orange County and Colorado Springs. Mark Schoenster, Eric Dobransky with you on ESPN Plus. Orange County, you can see, no wins but no losses either. 2 draws to start, trying to flip that script here at home. Meanwhile, Colorado Springs trying to make it a second win in a row in league play. Here's what Orange County will be trotting out.
Yeah, first start of the regular season for Ethan Zubak, who led this side with 11 goals a season ago. Also the first start for Bunbury. How quickly can they connect and generate a sustained attack? I also look towards Marcelo Palomino, his role in midfield with Hagar, Kelly, and Benalcazar. How do they ensure this match is played on their terms, both in and out of possession?
Meanwhile, on the Colorado Springs side of things, Eric, who's that between the sticks there?
Colin Shuttler getting the nod against his former team, along with this back line anchored by Talon Maples, Matt Mahoney, experience along that back line. This is a group that's going to be looking to put in a proper shift away from home. They'll want to be disruptive off the ball and then lethal in chance creation, and look no further than Corey Bennett, who will lead that front line.
A lot of great pieces on this Colorado Springs Switchbacks team. highlighted Perez in the open. He'll be donning the captain's armband here. Well, at least, well, actually looks like a bunch of players with the armbands going. Get that photo op in before the opening whistle. Won't be hard to differentiate between these two teams as far as the jerseys are concerned. A powder blue and a nice orange for, well, Orange County. Seems like pretty quintessential Western Conference matchup here between these two sides. Always a ton of excitement when they duke it out in the early stages of the season. Both units still in that discovery process of figuring out exactly what it's going to look like in the year, in the season. And you kind of have to do that in turbo mode with the Open Cup as well, because you just have that many more games to play.
Yeah, you talk to so many around the league, it feels like you go from 0 to 100 really quick. You wait for the season to start, you get through preseason, then you're into the regular season and you mix in Open Cup.
So it'll be left to right for Colorado Springs, meanwhile right to left for Orange County. Our head official for this game is Brandon Stevis. Now we just got to make sure everything is set and ready to go here. Orange County and Colorado Springs ready to do battle here on ESPN Plus. From Irvine, California, Mark Schoenster, Eric Dobransky with you on the broadcast. We really fill up that little bug drop there, Eric.
It's a lot of letters there.
Chris Hagert moving his way forward. Nice feed into the middle. Heels for a handball. But the ball fell right to Chris Hagert there, and he instead stopped the action. You got to play to the whistle there, Eric.
Yeah, what a fast start for Orange County. Appealing for the handball, but to your point, you've got to keep rolling with it.
So an early opportunity for Orange County. Well, I guess half an opportunity since they didn't actually do anything with it, but there was a moment there that could have been taken advantage of. Could have tested their old goalkeeper very early in this match. Colin Shuttler played with Orange County for 3 years, over 90 appearances, over 30 clean sheets. Now in enemy colors for the home team.
Somebody very familiar with these grounds in this atmosphere. Now obviously on the opposite end of all of it, but somebody that Colorado Springs Switchbacks are hoping are going to be that steadying force here on the road. Well, these two teams particularly coming off a congested week. It's always intriguing to see kind of the give and take you get from these matches. You have a midweek match. Who comes out, really puts their stamp on this first 15, 20 minutes.
You mentioned the busy week, the home side Orange County, along with the visitors, Colorado Springs, coming off Open Cup wins in the middle of the week. For the home side, it was here at home against Laguna United. Danny Stone described it as a comfortable result and performance. A professional shift from the group, and The only complaint he really had, or I guess critique, was that he wished he could have rotated more, but isn't really an option right now at this point in the season. So now, the first corner kick of the evening for Colorado Springs. They'll be able to recycle this one, give it another go. Ball whipped in, parried to the top of the 18. Wind-up shot! That one had some heat sizzling off of it. Levante Johnson.
Oh, and he was just lurking at the top of the 18-yard box, just waiting for his opportunity to strike. Puts everything behind this left-footed strike, just well off target, though.
I mean, if you get that anywhere near frame, I don't think goalkeeper stopping that.
It's problems.
Ball crossed inside, takes a bounce, wind-up effort, deflected off the line. Chris Hagar, so close to opening the scoring.
And this is what War can do from that right back position. His energy to go forward, his assertiveness, and then gets a quality service off, and great opportunity here early for Orange County.
Colin Shuttler closes the door. And now a corner kick for Orange County. Ryan Dogman will loft this over to the right-hand side. Meanwhile, maybe slightly more nervy a game in the Open Cup for Alan McCann and Colorado Springs against Azteca FC. They're able to end up winning that game 3-0, but it was a game that Alan McCann said in the first half had a bright start, but then there were some errors. And he's mentioned in these past few games that there have just been windows of time where they've had lapses. And of course, with some rotation, there's going to be some differing in chemistry for that Open Cup game, but he thought they were just smashing in the second half, came out the gates and looked really good.
Yeah, I think what you've seen from Colorado Springs Switchbacks is loud moments on both sides of the spectrum. You've seen some tremendous play that have earned them some quality goals, but you've also seen some blips that have led to some not so promising moments for them defensively. I mean, you look at their game against Las Vegas, they go up 2-0, they go to 2-2, but have the character to push forward and find that game winner. So you take the good with the bad, but this time early in the season, trying to fine-tune all those areas and build that continuity in both boxes and build that sustainability.
Here's a look at all the fans here in attendance at Championship Soccer Stadium. They're certainly bringing the noise, as another corner kick for their home team is on deck. Nothing doing on that occasion. This one trickles through, and the flag will go up. Tom Brewitt making a trip all the way up to try and have a crack at it. Here's our injury report presented by Zulfagari Law. You can see a handful of names missing for Orange County. I mentioned didn't exactly have as much luxury to rotate in their Open Cup game. Meanwhile, just Speedy Williams still on that recovery path to be added to. It's already a strong team, and once Speedy Williams is in the mix, I mean, look out.
And you add Frank DeRoma into that mix as well. That's starting to build himself into this squad. And so much of the conversations, especially when you hit congested weeks like this, is squad rotation, squad depth, making sure that the roles and responsibilities, the clarity is there.
Rough showing there from Alex Rando. Just came off the boot wrong. Gift wrapping, excuse me, a corner kick for the Switchbacks.
And I do think that's the area that Alex Rando is going to continue to build into in his role as a starting goalkeeper here for Orange County, is his ability, his distribution, his ability to play with his feet. But have to deal with this corner first.
Curler comes in, nodded away, dealt with nicely by Orange County. Colin Shuttler basically at midfield. Loft this back over to the left channel. There's Mohamedou War, who got upended. They like what they've been able to do defensively. Danny Stone saying box defending has been good so far this season. They've had 30-odd shots in the Open Cup game. Of course, the circumstances are a little bit different for that one, given the opposition. But felt it was a step in the right direction because he's hoping that his side can create more chances, be a little bit more aggressive whilst not sacrificing the stability on the other side. So especially at home, we want to push forward more.
We've seen that so far in this match, being deliberate with where they want to play. Obviously, some uncomfortable situations building out of the back here thus far, but good ball from Alex Rando there under pressure.
Some pressure, wins the ball back for Colorado Springs. Johnson pulling it back to Patrick Berner, and they'll reset from that center back pairing. You highlighted them when we got a chance to look at the lineups. Matt Mahoney and Talon Maples. That's about as good as a duo as you can get in the USL Championship.
And you talk about just experience defensively in terms of 1v1 duels, the physicality, but then you add in how relentless this team and Alan McCann's side is in the pressing and the repressing. They're a team that you think you have them broken, you think you broke a line and you found some success, and they just regenerate it. And those two being a big part of that, the ability to squeeze these lines and make it so challenging for opponents to play through and feel comfortable.
It's such a interesting part of the year. It happens every season, but every year it always seems like it's a problem that can't fully be solved. Now, some teams are more equipped to solve it than others, as we'll highlight here for Colorado Springs. Johnson rips it in centrally. War returning it back in the same direction. But every year, the season starts, and then, oh, also, you have the Open Cup you got to worry about, and you got those games in the middle of the week. Alan McCann mentioned that most USL clubs don't have the depth to fully tackle both competitions with full force. Though he's felt they've recruited very deep this year, and that means they're able to rotate and stay on the flow at the same time. He also mentioned they kind of prepared for it in the preseason, trying to play 2 games a week. So kind of have that understanding of what it's going to be like once the season actually starts.
And getting to talk to both these coaches a couple times already this season. Both Alan McCann and Danny Stone were so complimentary of the characters they brought into the building. The leadership, the players, not only their production on the field, but what they brought to this side. How important that is when you navigate such a long journey together.
Throw in chucked in by Mahoney. Punched away nicely by Alex Rando. Shuttler will run to keep this in bounds. Oh, actually couldn't get there in time, so he just kicks it away to stall. An apt move from the keeper. Dogman. Rolling it out to Hagart. Uh-oh. Gotta be careful there. Can't be too lax with Corey Bennett tracking about.
And Corey Bennett is one of those players that has full belief in his role, both offensively and defensively. So if you think he's just an out-and-out goal scorer, you were wrong. He spearheads that line. Make sure that any sort of touch that might put you into trouble, he's all over it. Really leads some of the cues, those pressing moments for this Colorado Springs Switchbacks side.
Player that basically everywhere he's been plugged into, he has proven to be a problem.
And somebody that Alan McCann is very familiar with, as he coached him at Reading United. Corey Bennett being the leading goal scorer for that club. Had him, he was a college prospect.
Doesn't always translate to the professional game, but Corey Bennett has definitely done that, as now Orange County will push forward. Hagart rolls it in centrally. No one to receive it. At least no one in the colored jersey he'd prefer. Brewitt will square it over to Tyson Espy, just 16 years old, getting his second start in league play. Well lofted ball over to the corner, but just not on the same page there as it's cleared off. The first Beer Fest of the 2026 season is around the corner. Join us on April 4th for our Spring Break Beer Fest and enjoy 3+ hours of unlimited tastes from 50+ craft beers, seltzers, and more. Members receive discounted add-ons, but don't delay, these will sell out. Head to orangecountysoccer.com/tickets.
You gotta believe that both these teams like what they're doing on the ball. I know it's early, but what you have to like from both these sides is they're doing it collectively. They're finding moments to get into the final third, and they're not just having it be isolated moments where it's 1v1 and then you have no other teammates joining. Getting good numbers in and around the box. Although they have not found that breakthrough or clear-cut opportunity, still the right kind of questions you want to be asking.
Long ball ends up being a bit too long there. Danny Stone looking at this Switchbacks team. Mentioned that the story for them is pretty similar to theirs this season, which is that they've got a lot of returning players with some good new additions. Describe them as athletic. Lots of talent out wide, no matter who starts. Today, of course, it's Fjellberg and Levante Johnson out on those wings with Foster and Berner behind them.
As you see, Levante Johnson on and off the ball here. Takes a slip there, but again, Corey Bennett's going to do his part, occupying center backs, making sure that his movement is stretching a back line. And Fjellberg came on, scored against Las Vegas Lights, scored in the Open Cup match, so he is in fine form right now. He's having to step in for Yosuke Hanya, who picked up a slight injury. I know he's back and available. That's great for the Switchbacks. Fjellberg, another one of those wide players that just provides something different, provides just a different look for this side when they go forward. They all complement each other so well.
War couldn't quite settle that one. And now he's caught out of position. Fjellberg is able to chip it inside. They're brewing something here. Lifted ball, swatted away, but not clear. And now it's knocked out.
I just like the energy that both these outside backs are bringing from Orange County. But to the point you just made and what we just saw, that quick exposure from the Switchbacks, recognizing that that area is vacated. Go quickly, make Orange County switch and shift over. Maybe that makes an area around the box, even more dangerous area available. Good turnover here at midfield.
And now several blue jerseys will push forward. Fjellberg with a quick spin, still fighting. Ends up being too much for him to handle the 2-on-1. Mohamedou War will have a chance to decide where he wants to start this possession, and it'll go all the way back to the goalkeeper, Alex Rando. Alan McCann, when looking at this Orange County team, mentioned that the matchups are always close with these guys, and he really loves coming to play here at Championship Soccer Stadium. He says it's a brilliant pitch that lets you properly play the game. And he mentioned the moments of composure will be so important in this match, especially when you're on a busy week. And when talking to Orange County, he said they're a little younger than we are, which can go one of two ways, of course. That means a lot of youthful energy out there, and sometimes it can be contagious, and other times, of course, that can result in inexperience, and you can take advantage of a mishap. So they'll be hoping to utilize the extra years under their belts to their advantage here on the road.
Well, there's no question that, I know we're early in the season, but when we looked at the schedule, this was a matchup that we looked at and we said, oh, this can be fascinating because these are two Western Conference foes. I mean, when you look at clashes in the Western Conference, these are two teams that you think about. Then you add in the ambitions of both these clubs and organizations and some of the key additions. And then we knew we were going to be in for a good matchup, one that was going to test each other early and give us a good litmus test of where these two teams sit. Obviously, for Orange County, two different matches thus far. I mean, you concede late against Las Vegas. You hold that 1-0 advantage until the 87th. Concede, you earn a point at home. And then you go on the road to Phoenix Rising. And you need a late equalizer to pull that 1-1 draw. So a lot of character shown thus far through two, and then same for Al McCann and his group. 2-2 at El Paso. They go 2 up against Las Vegas, see that lead go away and find a game winner to go 3-2 late in that matchup, pick up all 3 points.
Mahoney drags this one back to Shuttler. See several orange jerseys lurking. You don't want to be the guy who makes the loose pass and gives away something too easy for the home side. Now Johnson will carry this one down the right channel. Don't think that came off the boot exactly how he was hoping. He'll have another crack at it though. This one came off better, juggled in. The clearance only falls out to Williams. Now Fjellberg up against War. Here comes a cross and into the hands of Alex Rando. You don't have to be on the roster to get on the field here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Orange County Soccer Club offers group experiences that let fans be a part of the match day action. Groups of 10 or more can receive discounted tickets and even access on-field experiences like player walkouts, halftime activities, and post-match games on the pitch. If you're planning a team event, birthday, or company outing, visit orangecountysoccer.com/group tickets to learn more. Little ball swap there. A switch, a swap, swip. Ryan Dogman will throw this one in. Holding that one is Zubak, and that'll be lofted up the field. Shuttler settling it down. They gotta be careful though with their goalie well out of his box. Now Ward has to be careful on this end. Fjellberg cutting inside, lets it rip. You know that's in his arsenal, that quick step and fire.
And that's that moment where Fjellberg feels very comfortable drifting into that underneath space with Corey Bennett, Levante Johnson occupying higher, and then you've got Patrick Berner already climbing the field, creating that overload in that wide area.
Well, they always talk about the goalkeeper in the modern game being an 11th man on the field, and Colin Shuttler's very much taking that literally here. He's been probably out between the circles as frequently as he's had to sit between the sticks. "27 years old, Colin Shuttler from Middleburg, Virginia."
Yeah, right now we've seen early on a back and forth between Colin Shuttler and Herrera. Herrera being a returner from last year for the Switchbacks.
How about that pass interception? Johnson winding to his right. Levante Johnson nearly sliding in to finish the job.
So deceptive. He just dips his shoulder, thinking the defenders think he's going to go central, but then just lets this ball come across his body.
Adrian Perez nearly able to combine there with Johnson. Orange County fans, are you ready to unlock the best experience in black and orange? 2026 Orange County SC season memberships are on sale now. Join OC's best kept secret and enjoy the lowest ticket prices, exclusive benefits, and unforgettable match day experiences all season long. Learn more online at orangecountysoccer.com/tickets. Hagart stuffed out in the field, but he keeps fighting. Ball ripped in centrally. Ultimately nothing doing there for the home team is was actually Ryan Dogman, who was in that battle out there in the open field. Shuttler, look out! Nearly a tap-in goal. Able to get it away in time, but
you think those two players have gone against each other quite a bit in training in the past. Ethan Zubak and Colin Shuttler.
Maybe he knows his tendencies.
Yeah, I was going to say, you get to be a bit more familiar with a goalkeeper's tendencies and how quickly they can kind of pull the trigger when they move side to side and pull that ball across their body.
I'm sure all these Orange County guys are itching to get one past Shuttler today. We weren't sure going into the game if it was going to be Shuttler because, like you mentioned, you've got two USL veteran goalkeepers on this Colorado Springs team now, with Christian Herrera being the tenured guy with this club in particular. Johnson, not enough juice on that pass for Corey Bennett. Whistle from Brandon Stevis sounds as Benalcazar goes down.
And we've seen a heavy dose of Levante Johnson in this matchup. But we've seen a lot of it being facilitators. We see a call here from against Adrian Perez.
Follows through and gets a good chunk of the leg there of Nico Benalcazar. On the ball now is Tom Brewitt. Going for the long ball here. War making a venture forward. The USL Championship and League One are on CBS Sports and ESPN platforms all season long. Catch live matches and expert analysis every day on the CBS Sports Golazo network as this one bounces through, nearly connecting with Zuback there. Go to the USLChampionship.com or USLLeague1.com for all the complete USL TV listings. Johnson on the other end. Not too many moments of levity here in this match as Williams, not a bad idea to sift that one through. Ball curling in, headed outward once more. Johnson taking his man on. Knocked over at the edge of the box, and it's entirely clean there. They've been getting Johnson involved early and often.
And for Alan McCann and his side, you want to see more of what that was right there from Levante Johnson in terms of taking the player, his defender on, getting to that byline, because right now, seen him be facilitator quite a bit. Some early deliveries, had to play a slipped in ball. I like how explosive Levante Johnson is with the ball at his feet. Can he now add a hint of selfish play in there, create for himself?
Still getting sorted inside the box. It's played short. Now the cross comes in. Dipping down, punched away by Rando. So they'll have a go from the left corner flag now.
And I know they got to deal with another corner, but good play from Alex Rando, making sure that nothing's left to chance.
What's Gnarly up to right now? Getting the fans going. I don't know why he's wearing sunglasses. It's pretty dark out now. Williams will take the corner kick. Curled inside, Rando had to jump over a body to punch that one. Well settled by Burner. And that one was always off target. So we highlighted Mohamedou War at the beginning of the broadcast, and last year didn't start a ton, but talking about him, Danny Stone was saying, I mean, I'd probably bring him up more conversation more than most of the players on the team, because last year, yeah, at times it may have felt like he was getting scattered minutes, but the fact of the matter is he played over 30 games last season and played in a lot of different spots. So that just shows how important he was to them, that basically they needed someone to sub into the game. They called on Mohamedou War to plug into the game wherever it may be. Called him a fantastic human and a glue guy, which, I mean, given what he was able to contribute last season, I think that's very much a good way to describe him. I mean, that's just a valuable asset. Flexibility is Perez. Gets it taken away from him. Johnson. Able to maintain possession. Burner sends in the cross.
And to finish that point up that you made about Mohamedou War, teammates look at it. When you switch positions, they look at your response to that switch. They look at how you take it on and off the field. Do you take it in stride? Do you take some of that coaching? Your player that's typically like a wing player, a forward, and he has just been an absolute pro at stepping in at that outside back and realizing that the strengths that it can highlight on both sides of the ball, valuing those 1v1 duels, but also knowing that he can still exploit a lot of his characteristics and profile going forward.
How about that composure there from Tyson Espy, which is exactly what we heard about him, is that he's not a guy who gets rattled despite being only 16 years old. One of several players on this roster that's been called up to the youth national team. Jameer Johnson to the U18s, Espy to U17s. They'll be going to Portugal and Paraguay respectively. And then also, not with the club anymore, but former member of the club, Grede Alcindina, who is currently playing professionally in Portugal, was called back to the U21 youth camp. So just another good example of the kind of guys that step into this Orange County system and then leave it as better footballers and ready to go to bigger stages. And Alcazar.
It's been one of the biggest signatures for this club. Obviously, the ambitions to compete in the USL Championship every year, but their commitment to develop and harness young talent is on display year to year, and you see it.
Moore sends this one in. Cross rejected. Now they're trying to find a way to clear it out, Colorado Springs, and the whistle will slow things down for them.
And you see it in the way these young players contribute not only to the current squad, but to how their professional careers play out.
We brought up that Vegas game earlier for Colorado Springs, and a game that the Switchbacks team really dominated. Basically, you could say 80 minutes of it. It was just a 9-minute window that Alan McCann referred to, and he said he just took the foot off the gas and you could feel it in person. Total control of the game. You just need to avoid that situation going forward. You can't have an off switch in a match.
And it was a game that just saw them dominate that first 45, and it was still 0-0 going into the break. And you thought, where were they going to go from there? They scored awkward clearance there, and still fortunate to only concede a goal kick. Then you score 3 in the second half.
Watch the USL Championship in Spanish on 2DNA, the nation's leading Spanish language sports network. Lexington SC take on newcomer Brooklyn FC on Wednesday, March 25th at 7 p.m. Eastern. And Detroit City FC face the Charleston Battery March 28th at 4 p.m. Eastern. Go to uslchampionship.com for the complete USL TV listings. You have to get up well, not get up, but you have to tune in a bit earlier than your liking for you West Coast people. Who doesn't love some midday footy? Pulled up by Mahoney to Fjellberg. Up against Mohamedou War. Fjellberg. Able to get away the cross, but not much more outside of that.
I think both these teams are just going to look at efficiency in the final third actions. For the Switchbacks, 22 final third entries. Only 5 of those have translated to touches in the opposition box. Orange County 13, and 4 of those have equal touches in the Switchbacks defensive box. So doing a lot of work in the build and through the middle third. Just looking for that final piece.
Yeah, there certainly isn't a lack of ventures going into the attacking areas, but then it starts to stall out after that.
Yeah, it's been met with a bit of cautious optimism instead of just decisive runs and incisive passes. And that's going to be something that both these teams are fully capable of. But when you have this kind of cagey affair where both teams coming in looking for a result, you're going to get that back and forth.
Fjellberg.
Great tackle.
That is a great tackle. Well managed, and now Orange County can do away with the ball there. 5 more minutes plus stoppage time to go here in the first half of action. Colorado Springs, 1 win, 1 draw to start the season. 2 draws to start for Orange County. Burner rolls it up ahead. Johnson takes a touch. Burner again, whips it into the middle, took a deflection. Now Orange County blocked the ball out of play. They haven't really had anything going forward as of late, Orange County. Johnson. Going for something cheeky there, and ultimately it was far from really being close to threatening. Brewitt. Once again, Tyson Espy on the ball. He'll roll it out to Dogman.
We talked about the evolution of the goalkeeper position and having to play higher up the field, almost being the 11th field player. It's the same when you have 2 teams that are matched up that put so much value in their defensive structure, their organization, being difficult to break down. Some of the onus now becomes on the playmaking ability of your defensive players. Talon Maples, Matt Mahoney, Tyson Espy, now Tom Brewitt for Orange County. Can they be that player that breaks lines with whether it's that passing range or on the dribble? They move some defenders. What does their role become?
Some appeals for a yellow card here, as after the ball was whistled dead, a deflection may have hit someone in the face. Some intentful conversation being orchestrated here by Brandon Stevis.
And to the point that you just made a few moments ago about Orange County unable to kind of generate anything going forward. Can you find an outlet to Ethan Zubak or Bunbury? You just have not seen that connection in transition just yet, but I think we all knew that that wasn't just going to be a flip of a switch, because this is the first time the 2 of them are starting together. Obviously, they've been together on the training ground, but until you're facing an opponent in real time, starting to see what this game offers.
They'll try to go forward once again, Colorado Springs. They're able to keep it in bounds. It's poked over to the goal line and booted up the pitch by War. Select is proud to be the official match ball supplier of the USL Championship. From the grassroots to the pros, Select is there every step of the way. Visit us.select-sport.com for the latest Select products, specials, and more. Select, the player's choice. Fjellberg able to combine up the pitch there to Sam Williams. Win another corner kick for Colorado Springs.
We see the change of Levante Johnson going to the left and Fjellberg coming over to the right. Finding a different look, trying to unbalance this Orange County back line.
Here comes the service. Turned right back over to Perez, and now we'll have a deep corner throw in. Just 1 minute being tagged on. And pretty free flowing so far, Eric, so not too shocking a decision. Ball headed along, trickling inside. Man, a blue jersey got contact on that ball, awfully close to goal. Now it's lifted in the 18 again. Headed towards the goal by Maples, but ultimately an easy claim for Alex Rando. Rando with the pursuer. Moore heads it forward. Bunbury had it knocked away from him. Just been stifled here in the past 20-ish minutes for Orange County. Perhaps one more go for the visitors here. And that'll do it for the first half of action. Both sides took some trips into the attacking third, but it was only for sightseeing. It's 0-0 between the two sides after the first half.
Yeah, for the Switchbacks, it's just finding that final detail, finding that final quality, doing a lot of searching in and around the 18-yard box, but missing that final action. And for Orange County, it's going to be about finding that outlet, finding that footing going forward when they do win the ball in transition. How can they sustain some of these attacks and some of these threats that you saw early on in this match?
So 0-0 as of right now. We'll see if either of these sides can change that in the second 45, but of course that's after all of our great halftime content that's lined up for you here on ESPN+. We'll talk about expansion teams and more. 0-0 right now. We'll see you after this break.
OCSC captain and today's creative director. Come on, get him working the camera a little bit. Stay there, look down the camera. No, just that could be amazing. Do you like the colour, do you like the design, do you like the lines? Do you know what the lines represent? 34 lines for 34 cities.
Back here in Irvine, nothing to separate these two. 0-0. Orange County, Colorado Springs. Mark Schoenst, Eric Dobransky with you here. These two teams are staples in the USL, but we've got some new teams in the fray this year trying to become like one of these two teams. So let's get to know some of them.
As we embark on another long journey to USL titles in the Championship and League One, contenders are now joined by even more contenders. 2026 opens the door to 7 new clubs, 2 in the Championship, 5 in League One. Sporting Jacks and Brooklyn FC joined the Eastern Conference in the Championship, increasing the league total to 25 clubs. And another record for League One, with AC Boise, Corpus Christi FC, Fort Wayne FC, New York Cosmos, and Sarasota Paradise matching the expansion record of 5 teams just last year. It makes an interesting challenge for all League One teams with playoff expectations, beginning with defending champion Knoxville. And head coach Ian Fuller loves the challenge.
What is different this year about preparations for expansion clubs, which means more travel, more talent coming into the league?
Yeah, you have to be ready for anything in this league. Yeah. Almost every league in North America is like this. You're going to have expansion teams, a lot of different players. We've got a lot of new players, and we're going to face a lot of new players in the league and some new clubs and some new venues. It's kind of just the trickiness of this league.
Do teams coming in just because they're new doesn't mean they're at a disadvantage against, well-oiled teams like yours?
No, certainly you've got coaches that have coached in the league and done really, really well come in and with expansion teams. So, you've got a lot of players that have played in the league and played in higher leagues. You're going to have some really difficult opponents, even though they are expansion teams.
Last season, FC Naples finished 4th in the League One standings, one of 2 expansion teams to make the postseason. A tough task for new clubs this year as League One grows to 17 clubs.
Oh, what a strike! This week on USL All Access, we'll cover the massive news of Louisville City head coach Danny Cruz stepping down to pursue other opportunities in professional soccer. Greenville Triumph head coach Dave Dixon joins us to talk their ascent back to the mountaintop. Can they find Open Club glory? What is this year's Open Cup made of? And who in the championship has impressed so far? Who do we need more out of?
Match day 1, it's the season opener of the USL Championship.
No time like the present for these teams to make a statement and begin the campaign on the right foot.
We all have goals. But let's be honest, most of us aren't going to be professional athletes. But if your goal is to finish your degree, we can help. Come to a university that puts your goals first. Bellevue University, your partner in finishing goals.
Today, we accomplished nothing. I mean it, not a thing. And it was kinda everything.
This spring, stay 3 nights and get a $50 Best Western gift card.
Prinks Tires in the USL help soccer journeys everywhere to drive harder. From city playgrounds to suburban sidelines. From early mornings to late nights. From fun with friends to winner takes all. From the biggest fan to the biggest heart. And at every turn, Prinks Tires will be there for the long haul.
It is halftime at the USL Championship. We hope you're enjoying your match so far. I'm Dan Lucas inside the USL studio with a look at some of the headlines for this week. A new era is underway at Louisville City following the exit of head coach Danny Cruz earlier in the week. Simon Bird was named interim head coach for the back-to-back Players' Shield winners. Bird worked with Cruz since joining Lou City staff in 2021. Monterey Bay has given its young roster core a veteran boost with the signing of midfielder Sebastian Lletget. 33 appearances for the U.S. men's national team during a successful pro career. Lletget subbed on during Monterey's Week 2 match against El Paso Locomotive. Well, the season is still young, but the hot starts are standing out already. How about Rubio Rabin? 3 goals in 2 matches for El Paso. The Oakland Roots off to a 2-0 start under new head coach Ryan Martin. They had never done that in their previous 5 years since joining the championship. And goalkeepers Anthony Siaha of Hartford Athletic and Danny Vitiello of Sacramento Republic each kept clean sheets through the first 2 matches of the season. Spanish broadcasts are coming up soon on 2DN. Wednesday the 25th, Lexington SC hosts Brooklyn. Then Saturday the 28th, Detroit City hosts Charleston Battery. That's a look at the headlines for this week. Let's get you back to your match for the second half.
Always appreciate having Dan on the broadcast as we take a look at some of the scores across the league. Which of these is jumping out to you, Eric?
Yeah, Lou City, because that match was at 2-2 late. Ballooned to 4-2, 2 quality goals late in that match for Lou City, and then a red card to J.J. Williams late, so that game got heated. Charleston Battery coming back from 2-0 at the break against Birmingham Legion. 3 second-half goals, a massive 3 points on the road. They have been tested early. They had defending champs beginning of the season, and then a tough test against Birmingham today.
And of course, it's been a busy slate this evening. We got a bunch more. How about the Tampa Bay Rowdies?
Yeah, 3-0 against, again, the reigning champions, Pittsburgh Riverhounds. 1-0 late game winner for San Antonio from Danny Barbier to pick up all 3. And then same for FC Tulsa, big midweek win in US Open Cup. Pick up a late winner from Owen Dom to pick up the 3 points, 3-2 against Las Vegas Lights and Devin Rensing's group.
And Oakland Roots continuing to fire on all cylinders, up 2-0 at halftime in their game. We've got another half of action here from Championship Soccer Stadium, so stay seated. We'll see you on the other end of this break.
I draw a line. I've painted thousands of them. The lines are simple, but what happens within them is magical. Some lines divide, but not this one. It's the common thread for our shared love for the game. Soccer, football, call it what you want. This line, this team, it brings each of us to a common ground, the line that connects us. We, OCSC.
back here. The second half is just around the corner on ESPN+. Mark Schoenster, Eric Dobransky with you here on the call. If you're just now tuning in, maybe you were watching another game and decided to switch over to this one. Let's catch you up on the highlights from the first half of action. Got going pretty early in this affair.
Switchbacks, it's just going to take that little extra to find that quality look on frame.
Well, take a look at the numbers. The numbers don't lie. The fact of the matter is, you could bring up those final third entries, but it's not translating into anything for either of these sides.
It isn't, and for Orange County, Marcelo Palomino is somebody that I would look to in this second 45. Can you get him involved in some of the structure, building out when you do regain possession in your defensive third? Can you get Chris Hagart involved? We saw it early on, but can you sustain it then? And then for Colorado Springs Switchbacks, Sam Williams. I thought we saw hints of him on the ball. We saw him drop in to the back line, get on the ball, and play make from those deeper positions. Somebody that Alan McCann was very high on, the character and the efficiency and the volume of plays that he can make in a game. And I think he's going to be somebody that you look to and you lean on to carry this Switchback side in this next 45.
So both sides getting in their last words before we get the second half running here. Everything still to claim for both of these sides, and really, given the way the first 45 transpired, it's either of theirs to take as far as the likelihood is concerned. You would say that maybe Colorado Springs had a better bulk of ventures, but ultimately nothing too dangerous to set them apart. Nil-nil after 45 minutes. Let's see if one of these two sides can claim all 3 points here in the second half of action. Mark Schoenster, Eric Dobransky with you here on the broadcast. Just one change to keep you abreast on. Garvin Matusla subbing on for Matt Mahoney, the captain. That substitution is presented by Mediquip, turning setbacks into comebacks. Certainly not the kind of change you would usually anticipate Mahoney being subbed out. Of course, busy times right now. You want to make sure nobody is being overworked. You play last Saturday, you play in the middle of the week, you play today. And then you've got another 3-game week on the horizon coming up a week from now. That goes for both teams, having both advanced in the Open Cup. And those second Open Cup fixtures are nowhere near as smooth sailing as the previous were, because you've got Phoenix Rising coming up for Orange County, and you've got a game against Spokane for Colorado Springs, and Spokane's one of the best teams in USL League One. We're a finalist last season in USL League One, and want to be ready to go again this year. I think handled the New York Cosmos earlier today, 3-1. Mohamedou War. Cut that one in centrally. Zubak tried to keep his balance after he was pushed down and was unable to do so. War. I don't think that was kept in play, and it wasn't. Let's see where the inspiration comes from for either of these two teams, and can either of them test the goalkeeper, Alex Rando or Colin Shuttler? Shuttler returning back to Orange County after having played here for 3 years now with Switchbacks FC, competing for that starting job with Christian Herrera. Alan McCann said, as far as what he's looking for in his goalkeeper, he's looking for reliability, leadership, and composure. And that can be demonstrated through how you train, coupled with sustained success on the pitch. It's going to be an interesting competition to monitor throughout the year, and it may be one where you operate under the philosophy of riding the hot hand who's playing well. So we could fast forward to June and it could be Herrera, and then you could take another month or two forward and it could be Shuttler again, just depending on how things are clicking. Here's Perez. He'll play it up top. Curling effort, but not enough bite on the shot. Steven Echevarria, the one letting it fly. Now the one donning the captain's armband with Mahoney going to the bench.
And commanding that attention out in the wide space. Perez, and lays this ball off. Kind of back to that point about goalkeepers, but also Alan McCann adding to the point that this roster was built to be deep, too deep in every position, and so the goalkeeping position is no different. Two players that can play at a high level, that can compete week in, week out. And that goes along for the other 10 positions ahead of that, in front of the goalkeeper.
It can't be a cliff fall off, he said, about the depth of the roster. And it's this part of the year, the busy weeks, that it has to show up, that recruitment process. He said when you bring in a squad, everyone has to be someone you can rely on. And the goalkeeper is no exception. I know that fans will look at the goalkeeper and think, well, they don't get anywhere near as much wear and tear as your field player would, but it's obviously an entirely different set of battles that a goalkeeper has to go through, and you need to be ready for having more than one option there. So far through 5 minutes, neither goalkeeper has really had to get tested yet. Of course, still a ton of game left to be played. Both sides have made their trips into dangerous areas, but once they've gotten there, they've run out of gas. This one will be launched into the 18. Tried to be looped along, and there's maybe a moment that a counter could have been orchestrated, but Patrick Berner able to get to the ball first. That was a good touch. Now Zubak is just too far ahead of him.
These are some of the spells that Danny Stone and Orange County are going to have to navigate when you have players in and out of the roster. Obviously, availability as well contributes to that. We saw Liam McKinnon out, and we've seen Bunbury have to step in for Jameer Johnson now, who's called in, which are all good things, but now you have that need to click.
Bennett lets it fly. Trying to find some inspiration here, Corey Bennett. Not a bad take.
Finds this pocket of space, and that late application of pressure from Orange County gives Corey Bennett the license to take from distance, and it's right over the crossbar. But that just adds to the variety of questions that you can ask an opponent. Can you strike from distance? Can you get quality service from wide areas?
Sometimes you just need a little jolt like that too, just someone to give something a go. Soccer season is here, and SeatGeek is the official ticketing partner of the USL. Get all your USL tickets and more from the #1 ticketing site, SeatGeek, your ticket to great seats. I don't think there's a bad seat in the house here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Good vibes, good weather. Get some pictures with Gnarly if you're so lucky. Maybe try some Gnarly sauce as well.
We've expanded the venue as well. I mean, so many tremendous things around this organization, around the league as well.
That's going to stop right there as Mateo Bunbury may have gotten a hand on that ball as it was popped up by War. I mentioned the expansion. Orange County SC looking to do more of that en route to then hosting the U.S. men's national team as their official training base for the World Cup this summer. I mean, I mentioned that Alan McCann was complimentary of the grass and the pitch here, and that seems to be a through line from every single opposing coach I've ever talked to coming to this venue. But then it's a whole other endorsement that of all the pitches in the United States that the hosting team could set up shop at. Now, granted, obviously, their game's more on the western side as far as where they're playing, but still, there is a ton of great options you could choose from, and they opted for this one. That's about as glowing an endorsement as you can get. On the ball now is Isaiah Foster. Naples does well there, despite Zubak closing in. Looks like we may have had a bit of an open wound here. Got to clean that up real quick. Now Fjellberg goes to ground. You don't have to be on the roster to get on the field here at Championship Soccer Stadium. Orange County Soccer Club offers group experiences that let fans be a part of the match day action. Groups of 10 or more can receive discounted tickets and even access on-field experiences like player walkouts, halftime activities, and post-match games on the pitch. If you're planning a team event, birthday, or company outing, visit orangecountysoccer.com/group tickets to learn more.
does look like Fjellberg is quite uncomfortable. He saw Adrian Perez signal for a sub.
Well, they locked in for Alex Rando to pick up. See whom they opt to plug in for Fjellberg once the time comes.
I want to correct myself. I misspoke earlier. Yosuke Hanya is not available tonight. And we came off in that Las Vegas light side and been monitoring his progress. So to your point, there's Alan McCann and his coaching staff turn to if that is a sub that needs to be made.
So you've got Saddam Mesareka, Aiden Rocha, Juan Tejada, Frank DeRoma, whom we don't know exactly how match fit he is. We know he's been working his way back to being ready to go. And
you're going to do it as soon as possible?
then the other field player is Brennan Creek. That one took a deflection, and it was basically a solo venture there. Casual stroll here for Patrick Berner. We're going to bring this one back, and there is a substitution getting ready, and it will be the end of night for Jonas Fjellberg. And in comes a fan favorite for Colorado Springs, Juan Tejada. His 97th USL Championship appearance with Colorado Springs.
Thank you.
28 years old, Panama City. Can be an absolute buzz on the pitch.
Finals MVP. Just like any of these early season nicks and bumps for any of these teams, you just hope that they're not long-term and don't keep these players out for a significant amount of time.
That one we blocked out a play for a corner kick. 2/3 of the way through this match. Nothing to separate these two teams so far. What was a struggle in the first half to find genuine chances has become even more so here to start off the second half. But a set piece is a great way to change that. Marcelo Palomino will be the one from the left corner flag. Go-ahead's been given. And that'll be handled nicely by Colorado Springs. One head to nod it out of danger, and then a boot to really get it out of the fray. Curling ball sent inside, and ultimately the timing wasn't too far off. Zubak was close. And now a transition moment on the other end. Rando has to brace for some contact as he gets a piece of the ball going up the pitch.
That was alert play from both goalkeepers. Good outlet from Colin Shuttler and good awareness that from Alex Rando, knowing that he needs to be far off his line and ready to pick that up. Concede the throw in, but it could have been a lot worse.
Here they come down the right-hand side. Cutting through. Oh, had some heat on it from Berner. Now, possession in the attacking third for Colorado Springs. Whipping ball, carried along and out for a goal kick. Can't watch the match? Turn on Sirius XM FC 157, North America's only 24/7 source for engaging soccer talk, including USL All Access on Tuesday nights. Plus your live matches from the USL, MLS, Premier League, and more, all on Sirius XM FC 157 and the Sirius XM app.
I think that sequence right there for the Switchbacks is a prime example for both these teams. How do you pull apart a team defensively?
Uh-oh. Corey Bennett tripped up. What's the decision here? It's going to be a yellow card. It certainly seemed incidental, but at the same time, not too many defenders behind Brewitt there. The ball is drifting away from goal.
I'd be fascinated to know what Tom Brewitt's discussion with the center official is right now, because as you mentioned, incidental, but deserving of the yellow right there, because Corey Bennett was off and running. And it did look like Tom Brewitt had support defensively. He was not the last defender.
It's certainly, though, some contact that raises your eyebrows a little bit, and you go, all right, what's the call here?
How do you switch to the second one? I got you. So you just press and hold, and I'll show you right now. We have
and now a set piece for Colorado Springs.
So what I do, so yeah, so you press one, show, and then two, show. And then,
Perez curling it in. Well guarded, knocked out of play. Visitors will have another go here. I'll try to lay siege for a stretch of time, Colorado Springs, as Orange County readying some substitutions and maybe also offer some reprieve. And it's going to be a reloading up top, Eric. So Jameer Johnson is going to sub in for Bunbury. And then Yaniv Bazzini, who is on a bit of a minute restriction right now, will come in for Zubak. Didn't really have much of a preseason, so this is his preseason as he's working to match fitness. But a guy who can really bring some magic up top for this Orange County team. Curling effort, chopped by the goalkeeper, but the offside flag goes up. How about Talon Maples?
Talon Maples, one of those players, you put a center back like that in the attacking 18, he just tries to find the ball, obviously offside there, but led to that own goal against Las Vegas that was the game winner.
So Yaniv Bazzini back out there. Jameer Johnson, who started the first two games, come off the bench here. One of those other guys, a part of that youth pool. That substitution presented by MediQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks.
And figured we'd see Jameer Johnson at some point tonight, but you know, with his impending call-up, you were going to see Bunbury get significant minutes, and obviously that connection and those relationships that he builds with Ethan Zubak and how this attack is going to form in the absence of Jameer Johnson.
It's sort of the curse of success, isn't it, Eric, with these young guys, is you bring them in, and if they're doing well, then you lose them for all these youth national team call-ups, and then you got to go, all right, what do we do without them now? And also at the same time, when they get back, how do we reintegrate them with the group? Because, I mean, you're going to miss weeks of time, and that's chemistry building that they are not around for. Of course, on the flip side, it means you've got some really young, talented players, and when you've got them, then that's great. And you want to get them out there and have them help you win games.
It is such a delicate balance, and we've talked to Danny Stone a lot throughout the seasons in his time at Orange County. It's something that they take so much pride in, is the development of young players. To your point, it does provide some of that inconsistency in terms of what you can bring out in the 11. So positive on one side, but also leaving you asking questions on the other. And how do you do that all in the system of trying to pick up results and making sure you're right there? Because you look at the playoff picture last year, they were 1 point away from being one of those top seeds in the West. So points in the Western Conference are always at a premium. It's just such a testament to what this organization, what Danny Stone, his coaching staff do for these young players, and then do for the clarity of roles for everyone within their organizations, because we've talked to them about the veterans returning and their roles in the development of those young players.
There's a lot of things going right for Orange County as far as what they're doing as a club and as a system, as that was nearly a rough giveaway to Corey Bennett. And to continue that point, because they brought back 18 players this season, which is a tremendous amount of guys to retain 1 year to the next. And not all those guys are the young guns who see the promise of being flipped around and launched into the stratosphere, as it were. And I talked to Danny Stone about the older guys that also stuck around and what are some of the things that's keeping them there, as Corey Bennett wins the ball back. Bennett streaking in. Corey Bennett still going. A heroic challenge there from Brewitt.
And right on cue, one of those returners, Tom Brewitt, makes a big play, just never stops running. Commits to leave Levante Johnson. Sees Corey Bennett's head is down. He's preparing for the strike. Leaves his feet. Gets a crucial intervention.
Setting up this corner kick for Colorado Springs. Tejada trying to maintain possession for the visitors, but Orange County ultimately will launch a counterattack. Streaking down this right-hand side is Hagart. Now Mohamedou War, as the boys in the blue jerseys are now reset. Good work there on the right-hand side from Patrick Berner. Able to keep it in play and poke it to Tejada. And it's those efforts that prevented the corner kick and also prevented Orange County from getting the ball back in a good spot. But Tom Brewitt, like you mentioned, one of those guys that has stuck around and doesn't necessarily have the same perspective on this Orange County team as Ward. Hits the brakes, cuts it back. Now it's rolled to the top for the shot. It doesn't reach the goalkeeper. There's a lot of other reasons to be in Orange County, though. It'll be War again, slicing it inside, and it's deflected away. It'll be a corner kick. Things are starting to pick up again here, Eric.
And we're getting big plays in both boxes. You see Sam Williams selling out with that block. Now Orange County with a corner of their own. And they generate high quality runs. Starts with the delivery though.
Whistle sounds. Our head official, Brandon Stevis, not liking what he's seeing in the box. And we're now gonna get 2 more changes for Alan McCann. So, Brennan Creek gonna sub in for Steven Echevarria, which means the captain's armband is going to be swapped around for a third time in this game for Colorado Springs. And then Saddam Mesareka will sub on for Levante Johnson. Those substitutions brought to you by Mediquip, turning setbacks into comebacks. That's a great touch there from Isaiah Foster. War trying to lift it in centrally. They're back up to Brewitt. Bennett. How about Brewitt here? Does so well to engage and then draws the foul. Once again, the captain just stepping up here.
Man, it starts with him getting dispossessed. Tejada defending, and then Corey Bennett on the down press gets on the ball, but Tom Brewitt, the physicality that he plays with, and the awareness, the ability to get himself back in the play.
Foul is called as Tejada pulls down Jameer Johnson. It's now Tejada wearing the captain's armband, by the way, so game of armband hot potato. It's gone from Mahoney to Echevarria to Tejada.
Well, it lends itself to what is so special about when we talk to both these head coaches and this organization is they are so focused on the culture and the people in their building and within the organization. See how many times you can hand off the captain's armband. It just shows you quality players and people that both these teams have within their squads, and these are two teams that are prepared for the long journey ahead, and they know that this season takes its toll.
Ripping effort, blazing wide. Had a couple of targets inside as well. Looking to get a deflection off of that effort from Ryan Dogman.
And it is a journey that asks you a lot of questions, just like that take from Ryan Dogman. Spraying just wide.
Some hefty collisions happening here. Both sides probably a little bit frustrated with how this game has developed, just trying to find something to give them an edge.
And that's exactly what this match feels like. Is it's on a knife's edge. You just got to go out there and make a play. Who can do it on the dribble?
Well, there's someone trying to take matters into their own hands. Patrick Burner making the venture. That'll be a goal kick, though. Orange County fans, are you ready to unlock the best experience in black and orange? 2026 Orange County SC season memberships are on sale now. Join OC's best kept secret and enjoy the lowest ticket prices, exclusive benefits, and unforgettable match day experiences all season long. Learn more online at orangecountysoccer.com/tickets. This is a chance for both of these teams to show some character. Alan McCann has been really happy with the spirit he's seen from his team 2 games in. They've seen some adversity. Obviously, you go down against El Paso, able to get a result out of that game, and then you squander a 2-0 lead, only to then find an answer and win the game 3-2 against Las Vegas. Talking about the Las Vegas game, as he said already, we're basically 9 minutes away from the kind of game we want. They've certainly had their moments in this match, but as the scoreline would indicate, it's not quite been enough to get a winning result on the road yet. Of course, still 13 more minutes for one of these teams to come up with something more clinical.
And obviously changes for both sides that are still growing into this match. Some recent changes from the Switchbacks that see what their impact becomes.
Maples will drag this one back to his goalkeeper, Colin Shuttler. How about this battle here between Isaiah Foster and Mohamedou Ward? Slips through. Perez lays it off to his right. Another effort, takes a glance. Out for a corner kick.
Good threat from the Switchbacks. He almost felt like that ball got stuck underneath his feet, but still takes a quality strike. Gets the deflection, earns his team a corner.
It'll be Perez from that right-hand side. Can they break the deadlock? Not on this occasion.
And I'll go back to it. The challenge becomes for both these teams is when each other are set with 11 behind the ball, what are you doing to move the pieces that you need to get the space that you want? And right now, that's what both these teams are missing, is that play on the dribble, the link-up play, the quick combination.
Bennett wiping out, trying to keep his edge and maintain possession right along that goal line.
That seemed promising, but she ran out of real estate really quickly.
Got some more substitutions getting ready for both sides.
It does look like we're going to get the season debut for Frank DeRoma.
That's another fun addition for this team to have at their disposal.
Their last sub, right? This is their last sub.
Knocked away there. And I think we're going to get those substitutions now. So Kevin Partita going to sub on for Marcelo Palomino. And then Frank DeRoma, with his Switchbacks debut coming over from El Paso Locomotive, will sub on for Perez. These substitutions presented by MediQuip, turning setbacks into comebacks. DeRoma, what an exciting acquisition for this Colorado Springs team. Back from a suspension and had some visa issues as well. But Alan McCann said that he's been brilliant, and he's another guy like Adrian Perez who is great under pressure. Gets fouled a lot, including by Colorado Springs last season. And he's a player that you know you could put the ball at his feet in a high pressure situation.
And exactly what you need as you see time winding down in this match.
Tejada trying to knock this one over to the right-hand side, and he's going to be called for the foul there. Mohamedou Ward knocked over.
Tejada getting underneath Ward there.
There's Partita. eFootball is here. Live your dream, rep your team, and play as your favorite USL Championship club. eFootball is free to play. Download now. You start the download at this very moment, maybe ready to give it a play once this game finishes. you asking Danny Stone about how to manage this early season congestion and just how do you approach the different competitions and the minute disparities and all of those different conversations you have to have with your coaching staff and players during March and April. And he said year by year, team by team, philosophically, obviously it's going to depend on what the right process is. I mentioned not having a huge squad at the moment, so right now they're having to balance players' minutes and consistency with their exhaustion levels. But the fact of the matter is he said it, we're gonna have to ask some guys to push through on some minutes here. They may be pretty worn out, but they're gonna need to take it that little extra distance. DeRoma rolls it out wide. Tejada with the cross, dipping down. That clearance wasn't successful, but the second one is. And now a foul will be tagged and a free kick awarded to the home side. Garvin Matusla with the pushback.
And the area that Danny Stone is going to continue to be pleased with is box defending. Other than that first half chance where Levante Johnson brings that ball across and it almost sees Adrian Perez being one of the cleanest opportunities. Obviously here in the second half, Corey Bennett went on the dribble and that was blocked by Tom Brewitt. So the sacrifice and commitment to defend the goal has been there throughout. But I would also say that Alan McCann has to be pleased with his team defensively, the areas in which they've been able to get themselves back on the ball. There's probably some moments on the ball that they probably wish they would have seen an uptick in the tempo and maybe where you can kind of apply yourself differently going forward, kind of hitting some space a bit quicker, being a bit more decisive in some moments. But even with that said, they've come on the road. They've put some pressure in and around the Orange County 18-yard box, but now it's about creating the clear quality moment.
Five more minutes plus whatever stoppage time we have left. Right now we're on the way to both teams sharing a point and then getting ready for next week's busy slate. Switchbacks stay on the road, going to New Mexico United. Meanwhile, Danny Stone in Orange County, they got to go to Oakland, whom, I mean, what a start to the season they've been having. And they're up 2-0 at halftime against Phoenix Rising, still at a 2-0 scoreline there. So it might be starting the year 3-0 in league play, which, wow, as if we didn't need another great team in the Western Conference. It's always such a tough competition, tight competition every single year over here out west.
Yeah, it's always so interesting because we always look at some of the point disparity between what the East is gathering and what the West is gathering, but the West just seems to be such a gauntlet. Just no easy games. Now we see Usman Silla coming on. If he can provide that difference.
Silla making his return, making his first appearance of the season. Had a bit of an injury-riddled year last season, Usman Silla. Another guy that they love to have back in full shape this year. He certainly has the pedigree to be a difference maker. DeRoma, I mean, that's pretty classic from him. Always winding around. Ball bouncing inside, headed along. Juan Tejada, didn't seem like there was much going on there, but he's still able to whip something towards goal.
And there's that tidy technical ability from Frank DeRoma. Back on the ball.
Shuttler in pursuit, able to get that one away.
And for Colorado Springs Switchbacks, you mentioned Orange County going to Oakland. They're going to New Mexico United. Next up, and then obviously you squeeze in an Open Cup match in there, and then they host Lexington.
Now we wait for the go-ahead as time is winding away. Silla stepping in. Usman Silla deflects up into the air. Not nodded down clearly. It's a late game stunner. Orange County up top. And how about the young gun, Tyson Espy? One-timer, giving his team the lead.
And this is just being opportunistic in nature, just floating into an area that is vacated. Inability for the Switchbacks to clear their lines, clear their box. And the youngster just powers through this one. Beats the traffic, beats Colin Shuttler, and puts his team within grasp of their first 3 points of the season.
How about that for a first professional goal for the teenager, Tyson Espy? I mentioned it earlier, and I'll say it again. The primary thing that Danny Stone said about Tyson Espy is that he does not get flustered. As a matter of fact, I think Danny Stone almost wished he was a little bit more emotional at times and was developing some of that nastiness, which can come with time. But in a moment like that, you want someone who's cold as ice. And I mean, he just saw the opportunity, took it, boom. 1-0 Orange County. That goal is presented by Hogue. Tyson Espy, moments before leaving the team for a little bit to go train with the youth national team. Taking a story with him.
Yeah, here you go, team. Here's a goal. But again, collective effort from the bodies that surrounded the 18-yard box, the movement around that second and third wave. And it starts with Silla, that take from distance. Yes, it was blocked, but then still you have a lot of players in the proper positions. Just a ruthless take from Tyson Espy. Saw that ball dropping, had a nose for goal. And now it's on the Colorado Springs Switchbacks. They're gonna throw everything at trying to find this equalizer.
Ryan Dogman right now on the ground. The free kick is incoming for Colorado Springs, but Dogman still in a considerable amount of pain.
And you get Sam Williams over this free kick. Somebody with his quality. He's gonna know exactly where this needs to go to provide a test for Orange County.
Curling effort. Not out of danger yet. And it's just off target. Tejada again. comes screaming in.
Clipped in far post. You keep battling for position. That's a lot of what you see in the 18-yard box on both sides, the attacking and defensive. It's battling for position. A lot of the times it's that willingness to win that positioning.
Foster, the hopeful pass up the pitch to Roma. Probably the shortest guy on the pitch at 5'3", jumping up to get a hit on that ball. And it could be onto something else here. Orange County, that is. And Alcazar couldn't quite lift that one forward, but he does get the deflection. Time ticking away for the visitors. Orange County with an 89th minute goal from the 16-year-old Tyson Espy. Still been under a year since he joined Orange County, was signed back in August. As you would imagine for a youngster like that, eyes are a little wide at first, a little overwhelmed. The culture shock hits you. But now, that's a good way to really get yourself ingrained with the club. Right now, the author of their first win of the season, if they could see this to its conclusion. And right on cue they have. Orange County, 3 points. And that young player model, once again, bearing some fruit here. Tyson Espy with the game winner. There's a lot to chant about here if you're a fan of Orange County, because once again, a young phenom has stepped to the plate for them, and this time it was enough to get them all 3 points.
Yeah, it's that relentless work rate that you've seen from the collective, and then it pays dividends at the end here for the young Tyson Espy, who, when called upon, stepped right into that moment and shined right through. The volley that proves to be the game winner, the battles that he had to undertake defensively. Obviously, he and Tom Brewitt doing a terrific job anchoring that back line. But overall collective performance from Orange County and Danny Stone's group.
A collective performance indeed. We're gonna step aside, and when we get back, we'll have collected ourselves, and we'll have some post-game coverage for you here on ESPN+. How about the conclusion here at Championship Soccer Stadium? Orange County with a game winner in the 89th minute to take all 3 points and claim their first win in league play this season. Mark Schoenster, Eric Dobransky with you here to wrap up what had an exciting conclusion to a game where both sides are struggling to figure out a way to break through. And so it takes the youngest player on the pitch to find that answer. Here's a look at the full-time highlights. Starting off in the first half, Colin Shuttler makes a big save against his former team.
Oh, when we talked to Danny Stone early in the season, he mentioned that he wants his side to embrace that fighting spirit. And that they did tonight. They found some early success overloading the wide areas, creating some service, but then it became a bit of one-way traffic for the Switchbacks, regaining possession higher up the field and then putting themselves in progressive positions to go to goal, just unable to find that final moment. Good turnover here, good drive and dribble by Corey Bennett, but just look at Tom Brewitt, just never stops. Goes in, sells out, gets the key intervention. Goalkeeper does not have to make the save, and Corey Bennett was a handful tonight. His movement was clutch. He was able to create some chances. But then this, Usman Silla comes on, the block from Tejada, the missed clearance, and the youngster Tyson Espy just tees it up, puts all of his laces through it, and knows right away that he's put his side on the cusp of picking up their first 3 points of the season, and that they do. And you look at the stats for Colorado Springs Switchbacks, they're gonna look at it. 12 shots, only 2 on target. 8 of those 12 shots were inside the box. So that's gonna be an area they look at. Can you find ways to upgrade? Can you find ways to move defenders? Because that includes a lot of blocked shots as well. And for Orange County, their box defending continues, and then efficient. 2 shots on target, one of them hit the back of the net.
Hey, you just gotta make them count when they fall your way. And again, the young Tyson Espy, 16 years old, the man who gives Orange County the edge in this game. This is where our broadcast will conclude. For our entire broadcasting crew, to Eric Dobransky, I'm Mark Schoenster. We hope you have a fantastic night, and we'll see you next time on USL Championship action on ESPN+. 1-0, Orange County with the victory off the foot of the teenager.
This copyrighted telecast of the United Soccer League cannot be retransmitted, rebroadcast, or reproduced without the express written consent of the United Soccer League.